Welcome to the top of the stack, the differentiation layer. This is where you create competitive advantage. This is where your supply chain stops reacting and starts predicting. And it's the most misunderstood layer of them all. Think of this layer as your brain, not your memory, not your reflexes, but your intelligence, your ability to plan, to simulate, to optimize. This is where the data for your control towers live. It's where your S&OP, demand planning, demand sensing, digital twins, AI-driven pricing engines, ESG reporting, all of those sorts of engines operate. Not because they need to track a shipment or post an invoice, but because they help you make better decisions, faster and at scale. Let's imagine a global network. Your supplier in Vietnam delays a shipment. Your container is rerouted at sea. Your cost to serve model shifts. But can you re-optimize fulfillment? Can you reprice the product? Can you hold margin and service level without breaking SLA? If you've built your differentiation layer right, then of course the answer is yes to all of those questions. There are many examples of this being done well, but one of the most recent ones that I have, and I think also a very powerful example, was with a European apparel brand. They integrated live point-of-sale data, weather forecasts, influencer campaign analytics into their demand planner. The planner fed into inventory allocation models across stores and warehouses, and the result, a 9% improvement in full price sell-through, and no manual overrides needed. Here's the thing, that's the magic of the top layer. It's not just automation, it's also orchestration. So control towers are probably one of the most talked about innovations in supply chain. But let's take a moment to look at the analogy. We're talking about comparing air traffic control to managing a supply chain. So then why is it that most companies spend their time building dashboards of crashed airplanes? Think about it. How many dashboards in your organization currently comprise of data of yesterday's failures rather than helping you predict outcomes for tomorrow so that you don't crash the airplanes, so that you are able to improve innovation? So whilst control towers are one of the most talked about innovations, most companies still think of them as nothing more than visibility tools. In reality, a true control tower is a decision engine. It should do three things. It should sense disruption, it should simulate outcomes, and it should recommend, or better still, automate corrective action. So let's think about this use case. A food distributor that faced 30% spoilage rates on fresh inventory. With a custom-built digital twin, they were able to simulate what-if scenarios, fine-tune delivery windows, and introduce predictive shelf life scoring. The result? A 19% reduction in spoilage in under 10 weeks. But let's be very clear. This kind of innovation can't live inside your ERP. Your ERP is too static, too monolithic, too constrained, for the reasons we outlined previously. But your differentiation layer has to be cloud native, API enabled, data rich, and rapidly deployable. And here's something else. You don't have to wait for perfection. Many of the best differentiating tools start small. A single AI model for demand sensing, a basic control tower for logistics, an ESG scorecard for your top suppliers. And from there, you scale. I suppose what we're getting at here is, great supply chains are not just efficient, they're intelligent. Intelligence lives here at the top of your stack. But if this layer is all about agility, deployability, scalability, and it's intelligent, then it is also the layer where most experimentation lives and occurs. It's where you would do your A/B testing on pricing. It's where you're going to run simulations on carbon impact. It's where you're going to use digital twins to try out, new fulfillment strategies without changing your actual operations. If it works in the twin, push at the execution. If it fails, just learn fast. Think of it this way. This differentiating layer really can become your digital R&D lab. The better this layer is, the more adaptable your business becomes. So to wrap this up a little bit, your infrastructure gives you stability. Your application layer gives you execution. But your differentiating layer, That's where transformation happens. That's where you learn faster, respond smarter, and ultimately lead the market, not just keep up with it. If you're serious about building a digital supply chain, this is where your investment should go. This is where the future value is created. So that's the full stack. ERP builds the foundations, apps run the operations, but your competitive edge lives in how you differentiate. I hope this has given you a clear framework to evaluate your own tech stack and also to be able to evaluate maybe your digital roadmaps of the future. If you did, then hit subscribe. And also do check out other videos that explore concepts such as cloud cost and how these roadmaps that we seek to build could ultimately become unaffordable if we do not watch our spend.